Namaste and good morning, everyone. So let's start our Wednesday class with some prayers. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parbrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Om Bhu Bhavaswaha Tatsavitra Varenayam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Asto ma satgamya, tamso ma jyotirgamya, mrityorma amritam gamya. Om sehna bhavatu sehna bhunaktu saviryam karvave. Tejasvi navadhitamastu ma vidvishavahi. Om shanti 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 om. Last week we talked about Srishti and Vyasti. So macrocosm and the microcosm. Today we are going to see the Choda Lok. They are called 14 Lokas or 14 Bhuvans. Okay. These Bhuvans are outside also in the macrocosm, and they are in the microcosm also. So that's why this is very much related to the last week's topic. So 14, out of those 14, 6 are called Udharv Lok. And the 7th one is called Madhya Lok. And the 7 below, rest of them are called Adha Lok. So that's why Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, he told us, according to your karmas, you can have a Udharv Gati or Adha Gati. You can either move up or move down. So let's look at in the physical realm first. These lokas are made out of material energy. The topmost is called Satyalok. Very pure beings live there with Brahmaji and Saraswati. The Satyalok. And where is this information coming from? This is mentioned in our Vedas, starting from the Rig Veda, and then in the Puranas also. So this is the information in from our scriptures. Satyalok. And the second one is Tapalok. Tapalok is 12 crore yojan below the Satyalok. One yojan is equivalent to 8 miles. So 12 crore. You can do the math. Who lives there? Mainly the 4 Kumars. Sanat, Sanak, Sanandan, and Sanatan. Okay, these are the 4 Kumars. They are called the Bhagavan Vishnu's avatars. These 4 Kumars, their body is always 5 years old. That's why they are called Kumars. In fact, they can go to any lok because of their purity. They can even go to Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha does not come under these 4 lokas. Vaikuntha is even beyond that. Why do they live in Tapaloka? These Kumars, they do tapasya there. That's why it's called a Tapaloka. That's how important the tapasya is. Even the Brahma's sons, they keep on doing tapasya. If you go down, the third one is called Janalok. This is 8 crore yojan below the Taplok. There are Devgans who live there, and those Devgans called Virat. Virat Devgans in the Janalok. Below Janalok is Maharlok. This is 2 crore yojan below the Janalok. Rishi Munis live here. These Rishi Munis can go easily to Satyalok also. And they can come down to Bhulok also. You will know that Bhulok is earth, the Prithvi, where we live. So they can go and come back according to their own will. They can roam anywhere they desire. And lifespan for these Rishi Munis who live in the Maharloka is Brahma's one day. And how long is Brahma's one day? It's equivalent to humans 432 crore years. That's how long it is. And when these Rishi Munis, they die, they, according to their karmas, they can go to Satyalok, Brahmalok, or even below. So they are bound by the karmas too. Then comes the Swarglok, or it's also called the Swarlok. This is 80,000 yojan below Maharlok. Vedic Devtas live there. And the king of these Devtas, Indradev. All the Gandharvas, Apsaras, Maruts, Devdat, and a lot of other powerful beings live there. We cannot even imagine this lok. Our scriptures, they give us the detail, but our mind cannot comprehend it. Unimaginable wealth, wish-fulfilling trees, vimans, like airplanes, they can fly with your man ki shakti, the power of your mind. Long life and no disease. What is the job of these devtas? To protect everyone from the Rakshas, the demons. And kingdom of the Swarglok is Amravati. We read about the same Amravati in Mahabharata also, in Bhagavad Puran also, and the other Puranas also. Kamdhenu, Ravat, that horse which can fly, all those things which came out of the churning of the ocean, they're all here in Swarlok. Below the Swarlok is Bhuvarlok. Lot of Devis and Rishis and Munis, they live in this Bhuvarlok. They stay in touch with the Devtas also. And they help the Devtas in so many different ways. And these beings can go to the Bhulok sometimes also to help human beings too. They can have the title of Devta if their karmas are very good. And bad karmas can bring them down to human level also. In the Bhuvar which is above the Bhulok, there are 8 more lokas, part of this Bhuvar which are between the Bhuvar and the Dharti Lok or the Bhulok. There is a Dhruv Lok, so 8 of them. First one is a Dhruv Lok. This is a in-between part. It's almost called like a Akash Ganga. This is 1 crore yojan below the Bhuvar Lok. This is Dhruv Lok. Then there comes a Sapt Rishi Lok. That is a 100,000 yojan below. Those are Sapt Rishi. Sapt means 7. 7 rishis live there. Jamadagni, Bhardwaj, Kashyap, Vishishta, Vishwamitra, Gautam, and Atri. They live there. Long life. Sometimes we wonder, how come they are in every scripture? Because they do have a long life and they can come and go. They have attained to that kind of a purity. How? With sadhana and with the grace of their Guru and God. So Saptarishi Lok. Then comes the Nakshatra Lok, Saur Mandal, Surya Lok. So these are like those 8 loks between the Bhuvar Lok and the Bhulok. Surya Lok is between the Bhu and the Bhuvar. It's almost 100,000 yojan from the earth. That's what our scriptures say. Then there's a Chandra Lok. So that is only 30,000 yojan from the earth. Then there's a Rahu Ketu Lok. Then Antariksh Lok. Antariksh Lok is called a Akash Lok also. Air and the clouds are there. Yaksh, the Bhoot Prets, they live there. So these are the 8 loks which are below the Bhuvar Lok. They're almost included in the Bhuvar Lok. Okay, so let me repeat again. Satyalok, Taplok, Janalok, Jana, Janalok, and Maharlok, Mahar, if you're writing down. Swarglok, Bhuvarlok, Bhuvar, Bhuvarlok. And then in the Bhuvarlok, there are 8 more loks which I mentioned. The Dhruv Lok, Saptarishi Lok, Nakshatra Lok, Saur Mandal, Surya Lok, Chandra Lok, Rahu Ketu Lok, and Antariksh Lok. Now let's come to the Bhulok. This is called a Madhya Lok. See, above loks are called Udharv Lok, all these 6 of them. The 7th is a Madhya Lok. So, where we live. The people with the mixed karmas, some good and some not so good. We all live here. That's why we see in our life, sometimes we enjoy, sometimes we suffer. Because we have brought in the combination of good and bad prarabdha. We live under the guidance of God and Devatas. That's why we like to worship them. We call them for help. This lok is also called a Nashwar Lok. That means it's not permanent. Nobody can stay here permanently. This is called Mrityu Lok also. We are mortals. It's called Pap and Punya Lok also. These are the names given by the Rishi Munis for our lok. And we are completely bound by the time. Every living being will die one day here. Nobody can stay here forever. That is the truth. And in this loka, we are familiar with the 3 dimensions. That means the width and the length and the depth. 3 dimensions. And the 4th one is time. And the other lokas which are above, they have many more dimensions which we are not familiar with. We don't have the equipment to go there, technology to go there. And they are so far, we really cannot reach there. But on this earth, the Bhuloka, we are all familiar with these 3 dimensions and the time. And we are bound by the time. Let's go into the Adhaloka, below the earth. The first one is called Atal Lok. Atal. A-T-A-L-A. Atal Lok. There is an Asura who lives there. He's like a king of that Atal Lok. His name is Bala. He is a son of Maya Asur. And he knows about 96 different kinds of Mayas. Mayas means the illusions. 96 kinds. That kind of a power he has. But he's Asur. And he's the king. Below the Atal Lok is a Vital Lok. Bhagwan Shiv's, one of the form of Bhagwan Shiv's, with his Parshad and the Bhoots, they live there. Vital Lok. See, Lord Shiva has many forms. And this form is called Hatkeshwar. And there is a river by the name of Hat. And our scriptures, they say, the gold flows in that river. And people are loaded with gold in Vital Lok. Below Vital Lok is Sutal Lok. We all learnt about the great devotee of Narayan, Prahlad. His grandson Bali lives there in Sutal. He is considered a very pure Rakshasa. Why? He was a devotee also. And he was a Dani also. So he will give whatever anybody wanted. And there's a story that Bhagwan Narayan in the form of Vaman Avatar came over there while he was doing the puja. In the Vaman Avatar, it was a small child. And he asked Raja Bali that all I need is a 3-pug land. So he said, okay. So 1 pug was the earth. The 2nd pug was beyond earth. And the 3rd pug, he put it on his foot. So with that, he sent him to Sutal. Bhagwan Vishwakarma created this Sutal Lok. And God said that in future, Bali, you will be in the Devlok, or you will be the king of the Devlok in future because of your charitable nature. To that extreme. Below Sutal Lok is Talatal. Asur Maya You remember Maya's son lives in Atal Lok, and Asur Maya himself lives in Talatal Lok. So he is very knowledgeable in creating the illusions. It's called like a Mahajal. He can create that kind of illusion that you can't even pierce through it. Talatal Lok. Below Talatal is Mahatal. We learned about the Kashyap Rishi. Kashyap Rishi had a wife, Kadru. Through Kadru's, the beings were born in the form of snakes, like Takshak, Kalia, and a lot of other snakes. They live there in a Mahatal. So again, according to the karmas, we take that kind of a form. Then below Mahatal is Rastal. This is considered the home of the demons, the Rakshas. Very powerful Danavs, and that they live here. And these are the one who are super enemies of the Devtas, the divine beings. But they do have that power to go anywhere and hurt anybody. And that's why Devtas, they often go to Vishnu Bhagwan or they go to the Rishi Munis, please protect us from these Devtas. The demons are so strong. And the lowest one is called Patal. Patal Lok. Again, very powerful and very angry Nags live there. Mahasanya, Dhananjay, Sohit, Devdat, Dhritarashtra, these are the names of those Nags. And the Nag Raj, who's the king of these Nag, is Vasuki. He lives there too with them. In our scriptures, we read that Naraji, he went to Patal Lok because Naraji can roam anywhere he wants. This is the boon he has been given. He went to the Patal Lok. Then he came back to the Swarg Lok. And he told everyone in the Swarg Lok that Patal Lok is more beautiful than the Swarg Lok. The Nagmani on the head of the snakes gives the light just like a sun or even more than sun. And there are beautiful gardens, beautiful lakes in Patal Lok. So these are all 14 of them, 14 loks, 14 realms if you want to call it, or 14 worlds you can call them. They are all made out of material energy. Okay. Then there are two more loks. Pitri Lok, where the ancestors go. Then there's a Nark Lok, when the deeds are so bad. The Yamraj will send his people to fetch us. Yamraj rules this lok with the Chitragupta, Narak Lok. So Narak Lok and Pitri Lok, and then these 14 loks. Then what about Vaikuntha? Vaikuntha is not part of this material realm. Vaikuntha is where Bhagwan lives. Beyond all these lokas, when we get liberated, we go there. That is the place for the Mukta Atmas. That means the bondage from this material realm has been finished. So all these 14 lokas, they come in this bhautik sansar. This is called a Brahmand also. And there are countless Brahmands like that. This is our Brahmand. Okay. Then there's a crore Brahmand like that. Even the science says that right now. But our Vedas They talked about it in the ancient times. Countless Brahmans. And moksha means going to Vaikuntha Lok. That is moksha. That means you are, because in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, even up to the Satya Lok, you can come back again after you extinguish your karmas. Or if you go down to the Patal Lok, again you can come back to the Bhulok to do further karmas. Now, so this was the macrocosm. What is the significance of this according to the yogic philosophy in the microcosm, in our own body? All these lokas are there too. I'm sure you're familiar with these chakras. So what is the Bhulok? The Muladhara chakra. That's where it starts. Then the second one, Swadhisthana chakra. That is the Bhuvar Lok. Then Swarag Lok is Manipur chakra. Then Mahar Lok, the Anahat chakra. Janalok, the Vishuddha chakra. Tapaha Lok, Agya chakra. And the Satya Lok, Sahasar. So these are the 7 upper realms in our body. That's why meditating on these, bringing our vibration to that level is so important. The state of our mind, because mind is the one which really takes us to the other realms. So the 7 upper worlds describe states of mind when you are balanced. You are happy. You are in perfect harmony, or near perfect harmony. And reverse is true when your chakras are out of sync, when you feel unbalanced, when you feel fatigued, when you feel depressed, because the energies are unbalanced. Once you identify this issue, you can very easily find the solution also. So these lokas or these worlds or these realms, whatever you want to call, they really reveal the state of mind. That's why a yogi guru says, expand your conscious awareness so that components of your body vibrate at a higher level of frequency and you feel better about yourself. You have to learn how to see through the veil of illusion, recognize the truth of the real world. Only then your experience in this life will be more profound and satisfying. Otherwise, you can hoard all the wealth you want. You won't feel fulfilled. So the 7 upper worlds range from being fully awake down to the average state of consciousness. So like when you are in a sahasar during your samadhi, you feel fully awakened. But when you come down to deal with the worldly things, you still have the glimpse of that. You can deal in this world, live in a relationship, do your duties, but that awareness is still there because you know yourself. You're not lost. So that's why it's so important to meditate and so important to know all this. So the highest one, the Sahasrara chakra, you feel so joyful, so fulfilled. And this is the state of mind when you reach, you experience a samadhi. Samadhi. This is the moment of absolute truth where we can associate with the Brahma, that supreme reality. Supreme reality which is all seeing, all knowing, master of the universe. To put this Satyalok into perspective, when you experience like a aha moment, you know that you know it. You don't need any kind of a validation. You don't need to check with anybody. You just know it. That is the experience of Satyalok. Then Tapalok, as I mentioned earlier, the Agya Chakra. You are, when you feel that you are guided by the divine consciousness, the highest faculty of mind, Agya Chakra. You feel very creative because the sons of the Creator himself, they live there. Those four Kumars. So you feel highly creative. And the Jana Lok, the Vishuddha Chakra, you feel that you will achieve anything in life without first attaining the knowledge also. The highest form of knowledge have come from wise men of the ages. You are connected with that. These three upper chakras are the upper loks in our own body. If we expand our consciousness there, this is how you feel. And the Anahat Chakra, the Mahar Lok, sure, Rishi Munis live there. Then Manipur Chakra. So all these chakras, so that's why sometimes people ask me, is any chakra better than the other? They are all great if you can keep your attention there. If you can learn to control your mind, learn to make yourself pure. Spontaneously, you will see that with the help of the tapasya and the help of the sadhana, your awareness will move up. And if we don't do this, what happens? We can go into the Netherland also. Netherland, and where does that exist in our body? These are called the 7 lower realms in our own body. Let's start from the bottom. The sole of our feet is the one which is called Patal. Sole of our feet. Above the feet, on the top of the feet, is called Rasatal. Our ankles are called Mahatal. And lower leg is called Talatal. And our knees are called Sutal. Our thighs are called Vital. And above our thighs, the hip area is called Atal. So in our own body, the lower portion versus the upper portion, where our consciousness is. It's not that we should not take care of our feet. We should. But that does have a lower vibration. When we are delusional, when we become arrogant, egoistic, when we are controlled by the subconscious programs planted by some lower level of personalities, highly ignorant, or whatever is happening in the world, which is very dense, very dark, we keep on thinking about that, our energy goes down. This is the state of a mind where you kid yourself into believing something is true which in reality is not. That is the delusion. It's almost like a perception we have formed based on our subconscious programming. We have done that programming. We don't see something clear the way it should be. And it can always rock your world. Sometimes we just want to defend our belief system so strongly. Our head questions it, but still we believe in that. And that is a lower frequency. So vital lok, when our state of ignorance, have a little slight insight about the weaknesses. That means we have risen above the patal. We are little above. Maybe we are successful because we are immune towards the lower feelings. Sure, we care about ourselves only, but we have become a little better. We are still arrogant, but not completely. Or when we are ready to learn from our own mistakes, that is the second level. And how do we move little up? Sutala lok, that is the place for King Bali. King Bali, an Asura depicted as a benevolent king. Benevolent. So some qualities have started to come. Rakshasa, but benevolent. Capacity to learn from your mistakes and becoming better. And then little above that, Talatal. Over here, the supreme sorcerer, Maya, lives there. Maya is the character that demonstrates the inability to recognize the true power of your mind. I cannot see it. Sure, strength is there. When we become very opinionated, obstinate, indulgent, our energy is to that level. You have little sense of self-awareness and do not recognize your failings are because of your own attitude. You rather blame somebody else. Then below that, or little above that, I should say, Mahatal. You start seeing the duality of the personality. Rasatal is almost like the experience of a teenager, because you continue to act in accordance with subconscious programs which you have developed. Mistakes you have made, sometimes you notice them. There are times you recognize that duality. So these are like, in general, I don't expect you to remember all this, but remember that as a human being, our housing is where? In the Bhulok. That's where that Kundalini is sleeping. And with our sadhana, we got to raise our Kundalini towards the upper realms. This is what I want you to understand. Do not degrade yourself, only upgrade yourself. And that's why whether you want to understand it with the outer realms, or whether you can understand it with just understanding that heaven and hell both are inside us, but keep on doing the sadhana. That is the main message from these lokas, whether they are mentioned in the Rig Veda or any other Veda or the Purans. They're almost like a symbols. Symbols. And symbols can be used as a very powerful tool And we can get the guidance from these symbols throughout our life. Even when we sit in a meditation, symbol. Sure, there's a Ida and the Pingla and Sushumna. But right now, we don't experience it. So look at it symbolically, imagine it. Think that Kundalini is rising. Imagine it moving upward rather than going downward. You have to make sure it moves up. So during meditation, we do that. And then when we are dealing with our other people in our life, whether at workplace or at home or in the circle of our friends, at that time, how our behavior is. Are we arrogant? Are we greedy? Are we materialistic? Or on the other hand, are we kind, compassionate, helping? We feel the oneness. Where do we really stand? How do we grade ourselves? We got to look at it with the help of all these symbols. Because every day we make several decisions. The minute we get up, in fact, even before we get up, we make a decision. Are we going to get up in Brahma Muhurat or are we going to get up later? Are we going to get up before the sun rises? Or we want the sun to see us rise? My own Guruji used to say that never let the sun sees you rise. That's not a yogic way of living. Get up before the sunrise. You look at the sunrise, how beautiful it is. So when we make this decision and remember all these symbols, use this symbolic message to move up. Move up and up and up. It's not only up to the Satya Loka, our goal is even higher than that, Vaikuntha Loka. From where we don't come back again. We merge with that supreme reality, Brahma, Vaikuntha Loka. Maybe one day I will talk about Vaikuntha Loka also, because our scriptures, they give a lot of pictorial messages about the Vaikuntha Loka also. Sometimes this human mind of ours, it just doubts it. But if it's written in our Vedas, because Vedas are, this is a voice of God. So we should not doubt it. Sure, we have not experienced it, but doubt should not be there, because if we doubt, then we'll never experience. So Vaikuntha is there also, just like a Satya Lok is there. But before that, try to feel that inside you. Live a life which is fully harmonious. Fully harmonious. See if we remember the 5 dimensions in our life. These 5 dimensions really tell us whether our life is in harmony or not. Remember these 5. We need to feel some kind of a professional accomplishment. Professional means something we do to take care of ourselves. Professional doesn't really mean going out and earning money. We all have something to do. Are we doing it properly or not? Then there has to be a second one, a relational harmony. We live in the relationships. There has to be harmony in that. We learn that from our Rishi Munis. The young boy Nachiketa, he knew his father was angry. First boon he used make my father peaceful. It's our duty to keep peace around us, relational harmony. The third dimension of our life is health and well-being. We got to take care of this health of ours. We live in this body. We cannot experience all these frequencies or these dimensions inside us unless we are healthy. That's why yogis, they gave us the techniques to take care of this physical body. Whether we get up in the morning and do pranayam and cleansings, asanas, that's our duty. And the fourth is our financial management also. That's part of living in this life. Paying our own bills, standing on our own feet. Don't be a beggar. And the fifth one is definitely the spiritual well-being. So if we live in a harmony as a human being on this bhulok, then when we meditate also, we can experience this upper lokas. And when we leave this body also, we will go to these upper lokas. And hopefully to the Vaikuntha Loka. So I am going to stop it here and we'll have some conversation after this. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Visheshyate. Om Shanti 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 Om. Thank you very much.